as you all know, May Day is on Thursday, and it's a half day for everybody, which I think everybody knows. Okay, I think high school actually knew that.
No, high school
did not know. Okay, high school does not have a half day. But what I want to let you know about is, first of all, Ben Watai is building a stage on the 29th up on the field, ready for the court. The court is going to change and come from the high school buildings, which of course will be empty at that point because high school won't be there on the 30th, May Day. Little tents are going to be put up by the community to cover the tables that are going to have poo-poos, which will consist of sushi, fruit, and that sort of thing, rolls. And the school, Janine knows, is going to order lunch as usual because it's poo-poos, not lunch, and the poo-poos are really for the kids, not the adults. But some of the students may want lunch as well because the poo-poos are not an enormous amount of food. At the end of the program, the Royal Court, as you know, will take the poo-poos first. So when the Royal Court, when everything's done at the May Day ceremony, the Royal Court will be led off to have the food. We thought maybe a brown bag lunch might be a good idea if we didn't order food. Kamehameha has been called and they are going to provide games for the students to play. And the community is going to provide, the ukulele ladies are coming to play. There will be people showing you how to make finger lays and various other kinds of weaving. And Robin and Janine are in charge of the decorations. The sound system is going to be done by our sturdy and resolute, who's not here, Swayman, Scott, seeing where he is, he's going to be working hard on that. There are to be chairs for the King and Queen, and 5 in all for their attendance. And everybody else is going to be asked to bring their own cushion. I don't know if you've heard that yet, but that was the plan. 6 boys from the community are going to be there to be part of the court proceedings, and also they probably will do a hula, little boys. And if they're the boys I think they are, they're really very good. It's sort of part of the whole introduction. Bring up 10 plastic chairs for the kumus. Kumus? What do I mean by that? Teachers. Probably. I don't know what I mean by that, but 10 plastic chairs are going to be used for that. So Olivia's idea is that everybody will be sitting on cushions except for the Royal Court up around on the platform. Okay,
so people aren't to bring lawn chairs? Yes.
You can bring lawn chairs, yeah. But not, the whole school won't be sitting on chairs like they do in the Birds building. They aren't bringing up chairs for everybody.
The parents bring lawn chairs, students are not sitting on chairs.
You're sitting on common
yeah. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm just giving them the thing from what we talked about on Friday. There is an order for the entrances, which Leah will go over with you because I know it changes and I'm certainly not going to read it out now. Okay, go Kate.
No, I think we'll do it after, at the end, because Steve has to lose. Because I do have some things to hand out about the order and about tomorrow's rehearsal.
Okay.
So we can do that after.
Do that after, yeah. So the board are invited to attend the May Day celebration, which starts at 8:30 up on the field and supposedly finishes around about 11. The actual May Day dancing and singing and events will last for about an hour, and then the games, activities, that sort of thing, and food. Finishes off around about 11. People kind of collect up, tidy up, and go home about 11:30 to noon, and that's the end of the day. So any board member who's here, please come. The May Day ceremony itself is always very beautiful. Okay, at this time I want to introduce to you the board members that are here, because some of you may not know or have met any of our board members. So, Joe, would you like to do that? Vicky just arrived. Oh, I can do it, thank you. All right. Over in our corner over here, the beautiful lady who just arrived, smiling happily, I'm sure you all know, is Vicky Hasty, who has helped us with many fundraisers along the way, and she's been on the board for 7 years and has maybe about to continue on. We don't know, but thank you, Vicky. Next to her stands our newest board member, Tanya. And Tanya's been with a mom here many years ago. 2 daughters made their way through, Jessica and something I can't remember the other daughter's name. What's wrong? Nia. Thank you, Nia. Whew, thanks for forgetting Nia. And she's now on our board, which is fantastic. I think I saw another board member. Next to Joe here is Steve, with the thing around his neck, Steve Hyman. Steve's been on our board for 18 months. Yeah.
I think it's a little longer. I think time flies when
no,
you're having fun.
Yeah, really. And Steve has worked behind the scenes very aggressively and helpfully in many areas that we've helped the school. And right now he's working very hard on some of the aspects to help us with marketing, just to cover up a few things there. And he will be like a co-vice chair next year, along with Kathy Damon, who's not here today. Next to Steve is, you notice the spring colouring here, the green and the orange. That was all set, peach. Is Joe Baker, who you probably all know, who's been chairman of the board now for 3 years, 2 years, I don't know, it's a long time. It feels like 2 years. And will probably be another 2-year term going along, supported by Catherine, Steve, who are going to be assistant vice chair. And these are the members of the board who are here today to be very supportive to what we're about to do. So, Joe, it's all yours at this point.
Well, I think
Yes, round of applause. Woo!
Steve has to leave. I'll let him be the
Oh,
master of
lucky
ceremonies.
Steve. Not fair.
I think there's a lot of interesting things that have happened, and I think Steve tells the story better than I do.
Okay, and I appreciate the warning. There was supposed to be an announcement. There isn't an announcement yet, is there?
No, it
There was
didn't
supposed to be a piece of paper that outlined what I'm about to tell you, probably done in a lot better, more flowery language, and probably with greater clarity. But the school is about to go through a significant change, and the significant change isn't really a significant change because the same people are involved in a new set of new responsibilities. And what that means is that the school has reached, a stage of growth and development, thanks to Felicity, that enables it to move to the next level. And we're fortunate in having Kate here with the managerial and supervisory skills, the processes and procedures, and the educational background to become head of school. And Kate is, as of the moment, the incoming head? No, is that the term?
That's the term.
Okay, so we're not too much concerned with titles, but yet there are titles. So Kate is incoming head, and as of July 1st, she will be head of school. Now, that's good news for the school, but even better news for the school is what Felicity is undertaking. And frankly, as important as the job of head is, the responsibilities that Felicity is undertaking are probably even more critical to the success of the school moving forward in all of the things that the school needs to do to become what it really wants to be when it grows up. And the basic responsibilities that are necessary to provide the resources for this school to be the leader that it needs to be in every area requires raising money. Lots of money, which is not a lot of fun, but absolutely necessary and essential. And frankly, as the founding head of the school, the one with the most knowledge and experience, the human being that is most enthusiastic about the school, and I would say not only most responsible for the school having reached this point, but probably even more so, I would be inclined to say that she single-handedly has brought the school to this point. There would be no Hualalai Academy if it were not for the incredible effort, energy, magnetism, all the good stuff that you all know about Felicity that makes her the person that she is. And she recognized some time back that in order to do the fundraising that's required for the school, that there was no way that she could maintain both sets of responsibilities. But the idea of finding a head bringing that person in, training and developing that person was kind of an overwhelming task, and Felicity kept saying, well, you know, maybe now is not the right time. But with Kate having come on board and taking over the responsibilities of the middle and the high school and demonstrating the skills that Felicity needed to see, she now is comfortable in assuming the new responsibilities. So we as the board have unanimously supported this change. And this change is significant, and yet from an operational standpoint, it's the same people, and so there's going to be a very, very smooth transition and continuity that's really important, because normally when you have somebody new coming in and taking over and you don't know what they're about or where they're coming from, and you wonder, is your job safe, or your responsibilities going to change, what are they going to do, and so forth, all that stuff I would feel confident is not even an issue, because you all know Kate, you know how she thinks and what she does, and Felicity and the board are totally comfortable with this dramatic and necessary change. But so everything's changed and everything is the same as it was before. And Joe, I don't know if you have additional comments or to open it up for questions and thoughts.
Questions.
Okay.
I think you did a good job.
Anybody got any questions, thoughts, comments?
Start off, my name's John Kilkenny.
Hi, John.
And Steve, we haven't met before, so it's a pleasure. I just wanted to say, just to start off questions, that I really appreciate how you presented that information, because there have been rumors, and I mean to hear it graciously and supportively, and we do think the world of Felicity, and so I'm excited to hear how we have this vision for our school and we're moving it forward. So this is more a statement, so thank you, Steve.
I can't believe a group of teachers did this.
Yeah. So then, yeah, my name is Greg. Megan. I'm teaching. Yeah. I'm in high school. My question then is, if there's a shift, what will occur with the middle school and high school? Will it still be head of high school, head of middle school then? Is that pretty much still say the same?
Kate now has all of the head responsibilities in terms of decision making about the coming year, including decisions that haven't been made yet. Will she have a head for the lower, or rather what do you call the person?
Yeah, the division, yeah.
A division head, or how she's going to structure it is something that she's going to be working out with all of you.
Okay.
The important thing was to make sure that going into the new school year, that Kate would be making the decisions that she would be making them, so she would be comfortable with them, as opposed to some starting with Felicity and, you know, with it being an uneven kind of thing. That's the way that's going to work. And it also it frees Felicity up sooner rather than later to undertake this tremendous role that she's embarking upon.
Okay. Thank you.
I think it wouldn't hurt to hear from the two that are involved, and maybe how you brought this up to me, Felicity, just so they know we're telling the truth.
Okay. Well, first of all, not first of all in order, but first of all, we have, I'm not saying because they're here, but we do have a really supportive board that's been working really hard over the last few years to keep things going and everything else. And you know, usually you don't see them around, and so I'm really glad some members of the board here, so those of you who aren't sure can meet them and feel comfortable talking to, and I hope we will institute this wonderful thing of faculty and board evening together, because we've been trying to do this now for about 2 years, and it's about time we did this, so maybe at the end of the year it'd be a great excuse to do something like that to get to know everybody better. Yes, actually Kate and I met, and what you know, when she became head of the middle and high school, and I kind of knew inside that this was the person that really would be the person to take on the role of running the school, because and I was thinking later, not sooner. I wasn't imagining we're going to do this right now, But it really has been very obvious that one, Kate is very efficient, everybody loves her, likes what she's doing, feeling comfortable. And as somebody said to Kate at the board meeting, you can't imagine Kate, but you want to take this on, what are you thinking? But she is, and more power to her, actually. She and I have been working really well together, and we've been doing lots of discussions and so on and so forth. And it's like it's like a play. There's been a lot of rehearsing going on in the background to make sure we do a really good production, because no school that Kate or I know of has ever done this kind of transition smoothly. It's always been that the founding head has either been fired, died, quit, whatever. Somebody came in, as Steve was saying, and they didn't really know who this person was, and everybody was uncomfortable and all that sort of thing. So my goal really was for us to have, seriously, a seamless sort of transition. So it was, as Steve already said, a change but not a change, that we have this person in place, but we're still going on, and we want to model that. That's a really big goal. And my goal now, I'm in marketing and trying to get tons of money. We're talking millions. We're not talking about the development office, which has to do all the stuff to make the school run smoothly. We're talking about the person or other office called advancement that goes out and raises millions of dollars. That's what I've been told I need to do, and I knew I did. Hey, no problem. I'm already. No, I seriously am. But what I'm trying to say is that we really felt that it was the moment to do this with everything that's going on in the economy and the school where it's reaching, and it has to go forward. And it seemed to fit in well with the coming of the re-accreditation team. Everything seemed to fall into place. It just felt right. And so that's what we're about to do. And I have a great support team, believe me. Joe has got a company from the mainland who have been involved with Hawaii to come and spend almost a year, I believe. I have this wrong. The lady who's running it, Fran, is coming in May to train me and to help me and get out there. And I have Vicky and Tanya and Steve and Tom Larada out there where we're working hard at getting money for the land. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm out there by myself. So I'm very happy that we're about to embark on this. So now, Kate, you take over from that and you say how you're feeling.
Kate, just to show you how important I feel what you're going to say is, I'm
You're
leaving. I have
heard it before.
a Hawaii Island United Way meeting that there was no way that I can, so I needed to do both, and this one's at the Four Seasons. So I hope to be able to meet you all individually in the coming months. I look forward to it. I know, not only from the accreditation committee, but from all the reports. I've got a grandchild here. I've had a couple of grandchildren. I got 2 more coming in. This is a great school with great teachers, and we're lucky to have it here. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Steve.
Okay, Kate, sorry.
Just to go off of what Felicity says, I mean, in many schools of this size, it's the responsibility of the head of school to do all that above named major gift work that she's describing, as well as run the day-to-day operations. In some schools that are slightly smaller than us. In schools that are slightly bigger than us, this type of division of labor, some schools call it a president and a head of school, between the person who goes out and does the major gift solicitation and the person who runs the day-to-day operation is rather common. And so Felicity was looking ahead, and
no pun intended.
Yes, and we also do feel that since 2 of the major recommendations that came from our accreditation team had to do with our marketing and fundraising initiatives, that we needed a leadership, person who could really do that. She knew that she needed to do that as head of school, and she couldn't continue to be here running the day-to-day operations. I think a really key point, though, that in what Felicity was talking about in terms of this being a unique arrangement, is that usually the way independent schools are governed is that the board has 1 employee and 1 employee only, and that's the head of school. In this arrangement, over the time period that Felicity is serving as in the position of Director of Advancement and Major Gifts, as well as the role of founding head, she also works for the board. We have an even relationship. She doesn't work for me. She works directly for the board, as she always has. And then I will work for the board on behalf of the day-to-day operations of the school. And she, on behalf of the board, kind of sort of think of it as having an external leadership and internal leadership. That's kind of the way we see it. And you know, we have some significant challenges over the years, you know, over the coming years, I think, because of, as you all know, you know, our enrollment issues. You know, we've sort of reached a little stagnation point in the last couple of years with enrollment, and we need to move forward and push that forward. We have some challenges with regard to, you know, again, our place in the community in this particular economy as a private school, and we know that. And but at the same time, given those things and putting those aside, we have so many significant successes to build on that it's really exciting to be a part of the school this time. And so I'm honored that the board has asked me to take on this role, and hope that it goes well. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Any questions for John? Well, okay then, I know you'll be buzzing and be chattering away about everything, but right now we've got something exciting that Pat is going to demonstrate to you, and I just wanted to say that without, again, Joe's help, we would not have gotten this far with our new webpage. He's been a big support and promoter of this financially and supporting in every other way. So I'd like us to give a round of applause to our president.
Not present.
Okay. Mark and Pat, too, have been working really hard behind the scenes. Pat has been working many hours to do some of the backup with Christy Kessner's company, and Pat, is going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the website.
Did you guys close those blunders back there?
We don't need to close them. It'll be for much to come back. We'll get too hot. Don't close them.
That'll do it.
I'll open them again.
Once it comes up, you'll be able to see. You're supposed to be able to see the lights on anything. But it's taken a long time. What you're going to see is really a preview. This is called a dummy or a mock-up of what it's going to look like. And it's not all there, just some of the pieces, so it's like slides. And I'm going to go through it for you. And it's kind of putting together all the things. I went on the web and looked at so many different sites, so many really expensive sites, great sites, whatever sites, and tried to get a culmination of all the best things from all those sites. And then I brought my ideas back. I shared with Mark. He had lots of great ideas. And then Rick was in at one of our meetings and came up with, I think, like the greatest idea was taking our character education words and tying in with our words from Tree. So that's going to be really cool once it's on here. The very beginning of this is it's going to be a flash beginning. It's supposed to be, when it's done, 5 seconds long, so that when somebody goes to hualalai.org, they will see this flash part of it, and then it'll go right to the home page. And then if they go off the home page and come back, we won't have to see that flash animation again. Because if you're like me and you go on websites, you get really disgusted with flash animations. You want to turn it off and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully ours won't do that. I've been told that it won't do that. So it goes into the slides on the page. So you're just going to see a little bit of what the flash is going to look like, but I have to click it each time to get it to move. So bear with me.
Yeah, the animation shows you the owl flying across. This way you have to just get the idea.
It starts out dark, and then as you click on it, as the slides go up, you see a little star. The star turns into the owl. And the owl, and the sun rises, and then the owl flies off, and then we have Hualalai Academy, and then we get our pages. So this would be a main page, and there's we have our 5 words that we chose. We went through the 2 years of the character education words and try to choose the right ones to go with knowledge, think critically, and problem solve. So that it ties in with character education. It ties in with our S words, which when the accreditation team came, they were very highly impressed with that part of it. And so then you see the home page, and then there are 8 sections about us: admissions, academic students, parents, news, and calendar, support us, and media gallery. And it took a long time just to decide what are going to be our final things. And again, Rick went on a webinar and said, you got to do this and this and this. You got to be able to find the pictures. You got to be able to find the phone number. You got to be able to find all these things, and they're all going to be there when it's all done. So you see the different pages here, and you can click and there's creativity. Now these pictures may or may not be in there. They're just kind of sitting in there as placeholders right now. So creativity, recognizing serious quality work, and then you can see a drop down what it's going to look like. So like for instance, academics will have the lower school, and on that, when you click on lower school, it'll go into our directory of the lower school teachers, the curriculum, and something else in there. So each one of those you go on, it will have some other things in there. So it shows a picture, and then the next one shows what the ESLER is for that. And then when you actually, like if you click on About Us up in here, then you would get to a page, and in the middle of the page will be the main text of what it's all about, and on the sides will be ways to get quickly to things that go along with that. On the left side will be sometimes a picture, and again, easy ways to get to different parts of the website to make it as user-friendly as possible for whomever goes on it, whether it be a prospective client has a child that they want to go here, and they're sitting somewhere in Europe, or they're on the mainland somewhere. They can go on that website and they can find everything they ever wanted to know about our school, or whether it be a teacher, or whether it be a parent, and so on. And then it's just so it shows another.
And across the bottom of every page will be an email link and a school address, etc.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incorporate our school colors, and I think when it's all done, it's something we're going to be very proud of.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of pages to it. So right now, what I'm working on is getting content, because that's kind of the hardest part. Now that we've decided on what it all looks like, now getting the content and pieces from everyone that has to put their part into it. And that's pretty much what it looks like. And then I have something else to show you that's really cool.
And then Pat, you'll manage this during the year then?
Oh, yeah.
So before spring break, I ran into Brian Powers, and I taught 3 this year, as many of you have. And I said, we really need some updated aerial views of our school. And he said, I haven't been able to go up lately because of the fog, but maybe over spring break I can. So he did, and then he sent us these pictures, and they're pretty cool. And it's just amazing how we've grown. If you look at this aerial view and think about ones that you've seen in the past, the incredible growth of our school. When I open them up on my email, I'm like, I just couldn't believe it.
The field is can we color enhance the field?
Photoshop. You know what? Bring that up. I tried to do that today, and I thought, oh, that's Photoshop, because I Photoshop a lot of the pictures.
Yeah.
So does Mark. I mean, in your book, when he worked so hard at your book, he Photoshopped so many things. I mean, but yes, the pictures will get Photoshopped.
I think we need some change. I think one can do some fertilizing, okay?
If you see Brian Powers, thank him. And if you want to see an incredible website, go on his HawaiiAnimages.net.
Hey, what's that map on the basketball court?
Yeah, that's the map. I always said, Lindsay, I kind of like to just color it in. It's just.
That'll be photoshopped. That'll be photoshopped out as well.
First on the list.
But again, I was thinking about Brian Powers, HawaiiAnimages.net. You go on there. If you want to see pictures of coastal views of like Ni'i Hau, it's pretty awesome.
But look, stop. Look how.
Make it a homeless shelter.
This is a boundary line.
Yeah.
You can see very clearly our 14 acres. But it doesn't show it going downhill, but you can see how we go across and how we go down. Containers look very nice.
Is there one that shows the whole 14
Here's what I have.
I don't know.
acres?
With the
pool.
You can see Robin Alterman's pool there. This shows a little bit more of it. And there's a river right in there.
trails in there.
Yeah, that's fairly close.
Let's go down to it doesn't go down to the
There it is right here, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's it right there.
We are pretty rural.
Huh?
Yeah.
The left corner.
It's interesting to see where those cattle are every day. You're moving out here, but there's not a lot of stuff for them.
Let me go down farther. Why do you think they're moving?
Being starved.
That's really good.
Yes,
Did you all do this yourselves, or?
It is like I said,
Operation.
Yeah.
They have a consultant.
we started out by
that's working
looking
with
at
that.
a site that Mark brought in, St. George's, and it was like the pinnacle. We could have a site like that. It only cost $110,000, and then I don't know how much maintenance per year, $35,000 enough to maintain it a year.
The website?
The website, the St. George's, the one that was our goal. And then from there, I found out who did that site, and I looked at a bunch of sites by a company called Whipple Hill. And then you needed information for the boards. Then I found out Magic Hour, another place that did sites, and then another one called Final Site. And I looked at all of their websites that were anything like what I wanted, and then I went through that and said, I want this and this and this, and talked it over with Mark, and then brought it to Felicity and Mark and Kate, and we talked about different things. And so ours is a conglomeration of all those, and I can tell you right now it's not going to cost us $110,000.
Yeah, we have a consultant also.
That's
There's
awesome.
also a consultant that's helping.
So we have an ex-parent actually called Chris Hasner, and he designed it through.
And we gave her ideas, and then she put it together.
It's great.
With her people that
The
Flash
originality
and
is
the thing.
has come from the
Yeah.
school.
I think it's great too. I have a question about the owl graphic.
It's not done. You have to realize that it's not totally done.
Okay. I don't know. Does anybody else? There's the owl graphic seems a little scary, or I don't know.
It won't be coming through like that. It'll be coming through so fast you won't see the wing and all that stuff.
I'm just thinking it's something that we should, if we have that owl on our website, we should have it on everything. Do you agree? Do you agree?
I don't know. It was taken from the last year's or the year before yearbook.
Yeah, a couple yearbooks ago.
You know, I don't know if you remember it. Have you seen it? That's the album and the image from that yearbook.
It's almost your suggestion. It's almost like the mascot down the road. If that's the one
Yeah,
that's going to be on
yeah.
the
Is that
prime
the-
time,
is
it's
that
going to be
the
the one
one-
that's going to be on all the...
Something that Chris did for us,
Prime
Gratis,
time?
a couple years ago.
I don't know.
Be on every.
Or maybe that's a student's drawing.
I can't remember. Was it Alex?
I don't know. Mark, you would know.
Oh,
The owl?
Was it Alex Farnham? Is that one?
No, Chris did that actually.
Oh, she did?
She did that,
Oh.
yes.
Crystal.
After.
Oh.
But she was helping
She was
with the
working on
yearbook
that.
year.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. I remember that now.
I don't know. I just heard
Awesome.
today that Alex Farnham got a $10,000 award for something he did for his mom. Did everybody hear that?
Wow.
Sorry, his name come up and throw it out there to see if I do.
I heard that Megan is, because she's young, she's not a graduate, and she's like 17, she can actually participate in an award or something.
Oh, really? Hey, that's one of our graduates, folks. Yay!
Yeah.
That'll go on the
That will
accolades.
go on accolades.
There's a whole area at the end for media gallery for photos and
Yeah.
movies and accolades and press releases. That's the whole end thing. So I really have to discuss all the parts with you. There are lots of parts that you won't see if you look at that website dummy, the mock-up of it.
And on the multimedia page, we will have some QuickTime VR tours of the campus, so that people can look around. I have all the hardware. That'll be very soon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of my dreams, is for us to go in, and see the virtual tour. That's so cool.
And Mark's working on pictures right now for different pages.
Yeah.
And you have a whole section for prospective students, and they can send in their email application and da-da-da-da-da. Yes.
Yes.
Make it easy for them to get enrolled or get
Well,
signed up for their testing or
On the form for admissions, there's a whole section on admissions and so on.
yeah, online forms and online giving.
Yeah, I think we're using PayPal, is that right? Yeah, it'd be good, Tanya. Tanya's taken it on herself to work at admission. Special task that she's going to be. Beat the bushes.
Are you got anything else? Because
I don't, I'm just,
okay.
go ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Pat.
Lovely. Yay.
What's happening tomorrow, or what we think is happening tomorrow morning for the media rehearsal. So really this doesn't apply, I didn't want to waste people's time. I certainly don't, board members are welcome to stay if you want to hear this. High school teachers probably don't need to stay. But for everybody else's info, the high school is supposed to meet and get out of here early in the morning so we can use their space and they're not in the way. But everybody who's a homeroom teacher and Robin and Janine probably should stay. All those of us who are going to be a part of this rehearsal tomorrow. So there's kind of a rough sketch that Hualalai gave me this morning about what she thinks is going to happen. And, you know, I think it's one of these situations where it's supposed to be the first run-through. And I think we're all going to be glad we're doing it on Tuesdays so that we can have Wednesday to
Make more changes.
yeah, figure out what we're really doing. So I've asked, is Nastia here? She did. Oh, she needs to stay. Where'd she go?
I touched base with her.
You did? Okay, you talked to her about the things we talked about.
I don't need this.
Oh yeah, she'll back. She needs to be in charge of 8th grade girls tomorrow morning, and John, the 8th grade boys. But this diagram, if it makes any sense to you, and if you're looking at it, okay, help me out here, Linda, because you were there when she was telling me this. In the morning, I think